Welcome back, everybody. Take a Fake with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How's it going? Happy New Year. It's cold.
Happy New Year. Yes, we're in cold weather now. I haven't been driving on Interstate 95 from Virginia, so I'm good.
Oh my God, someone's losing their job over that
one.
Oh
boy,
sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's already a terrible road, and then Tim Kaine was stuck for almost a day. Poor guy.
All right, what do we got on tap for today, Alex?
Oh my gosh, I think this might be. I want you to let me know when we hit a Marvel or DC character in today's listing. All right, so we're going to talk a little Creepshow.
No, this is going to be an entirely new experience.
Creepshow, the most fun you'll ever have being scared.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk Prophet, which I never thought we'd bring up Prophet, the comic book, ever. Snowblind, Port of Earth, and then Cosmic Spider-Man.
Well, you know, the thing with Prophet is that the print runs were very low, very
exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Back in the early 90s, you know,
those early image
very
books,
low.
Nobody knew they were going to be popular.
Very hard to find copies of those original books. All right, Alex, what are we starting with today?
Let's start with Creepshow.
Yeah, so I think you're starting to see the nostalgia stuff. We talk about it every week, and I think more and more as I think you dig deeper down this rabbit hole, we're finding a lot of stuff, and you'll see as we keep going, Prophet is sort of the same thing. Cosmic Spider-Man is sort of the same thing. There's definitely been some nostalgia for this book, whether it's the films, the new TV shows, whatever it is. These books have picked up a lot in value. Very, very recent. Is there anything you want to talk about Creepshow, the original Creepshow, the Stephen King stuff?
This was like one of those when the Marvel graphic novels was coming out. This is around that era, so it is a graphic novel, that kind of size, magazine sized book. Based on the movie by Stephen King. Obviously written stories with Stephen King. It's the art's by Bernie Wrightson, and I think you're going to start seeing. We talked about this last week with Dave Stevens stuff. People are starting to collect all their artists and their favorite people. Bernie Wrightson passed away not too long ago, but this book is phenomenal. Some of his best art, and I just think you start seeing. Again, this is a trade paperback. It went on shelves. It was in bookstores. It's thrown away. When people start saying, "Oh, I love that book," or "I love that movie," let me get a nice copy, and they're not around.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing the same thing with George Perez as well.
100%.
Perez announced his final signing. I wouldn't be surprised if CGC gets 10,000 books for that signing. And then, it's funny, as I started looking at it when you're talking about Bernie Wrightson, putting aside the crisis stuff and the stuff that you know about George Perez, but I have like these old Batman books, like the Batman 436s or the Batman Lonely, 442s. And I'm like, wow, George did all these covers. And I do think that, those are going to be books that people are going to start eyeballing and be like, hey, you know what? It's not the crisis stuff, but then, you have all these other things going on.
Did an X-Men cover.
Right.
The Chris Claremont run. He did one or a couple, maybe I know one definitely, but yeah.
Right. Okay, so Stephen King's Creepshow by Plume Publications, July of 1982. There are 10 9.8s. There's only 11 9.6s. A 9.8 just sold for about $850. It's about $150 raw book. Not an easy book to find. 1982. Again, it's 40 years already. It's crazy.
It's only get older.
40 years.
Yeah.
Stephen King stories, Bernie Wrightson art with a Jack Kamen cover. There's a book club edition second print. There's only one 9.8 blue label.
Wow.
A 9.4 recently sold for $325. That's about a $75 raw book. That book is hard to find.
Yeah.
And back in 2019, interestingly enough, at San Diego Comic-Con, there was a Creepshow number 0 Comic-Con edition. There are 14 9.8s. That's about a $375 book. Those are all hard numbered to 1,000. Also, interesting enough, had a Charlie Adler of Walking Dead fame cover.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice for a cover on that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a promo book. These are cool books, but it was they were sold as a promo book for the TV show. It wasn't like an ongoing thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's it on Creepshow. What do we got next, Alex?
The Prophet by our old friend, Mr. Rob Liefeld.
Right. So these books, again, you saw it with the early Spawn books. You're starting to see it with, even the Jim Lee X-Men early books, the wraparound, the gatefolds where they printed 6 million copies of the book. There is a nostalgia for it. We saw it with baseball cards too. A lot of the 80s and 90s cards that they printed zillions of. Like that's what people are sending in now. It's very, very interesting. These books have shot up in value. The profit books. I think there's a TV show or something coming, right?
Yeah, I think Fox is doing like a TV show on it. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I remember when these books came out. What about you? Were you buying these books at the time, Alex?
I was around. I was a sports card kid at that time. I was just starting to get comic books. I mean, I definitely remember Youngbloods and X-Men.
I mean, I remember these books going on take them out of the box and sticking them on the shelf.
Yeah,
oh
right.
Craziness. So, so Prophet first appears in Youngblood #2, June of 1992. There are 368 9.8s. There's 2 cover variants. There's a green or a pink logo. They're about $200. It's also interestingly enough, the first appearance of Shadowhawk, who I think Jim Valentino is going to bring back. I think he is bringing.
I think every few years there's some new Shadowhawk something. Yeah.
So there's 2 different covers. There's trading cards in there. Rob Liefeld with Jim Valentino stories, cover and art. Then you have Prophet #1, which came out October of 93. There's a coupon for Prophet #0 in there. Again, Liefeld, there's 47 9.8s. That's about $90. There's a gold lettered version of that cover. There's only 3 9.8s of those. I thought they made a lot of those. I remember like seeing a lot of those.
I've seen them a million times, but people might have just not gotten them graded.
You can still buy them cheap. You can still buy them cheap at a show, I think. They're $25 to $50 raw on eBay right now. Those things were $1, $2, $3 books.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, there's an ash can edition, which I actually think I own one.
I saw a million of them. I've seen a million of them, which just surprises me that they're this rare. I've seen them. I can see it.
There's only one total pop. They're $400 to $500 now, Alex.
That's crazy.
Raw.
It's crazy.
I remember. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
And then the Prophet #0, which was the coupon book.
Right.
That came out in July of 94. There's 5 9.8s of those. Again, very low pops.
That's very low.
Books.
Yeah.
Right. $180. And then the San Diego Comic-Con variant of Prophet #0. I'm sorry, of Prophet #1, 9.8 is about 110 raw. So these books have really, really picked up a lot.
The numbers don't lie. I mean, it's low pop. Either people haven't submitted them, or the ones they're submitting aren't 9.8s, and that's why these prices are going up.
They've been kicking around in long boxes forever.
Yeah.
They've been kicking around. You know that. All right. It's time for your favorite part of the show. Alex's pick of the week. What do you got for us, Alex?
I was going through some deleted photos and I was like, oh, I remember you sent me a photo of a Gentle Giant Salacious Crumb holiday like ornament or like a statue. And I was like, oh, I never even looked it up. Let me look it up. Can't find it. There's 2 on eBay. One's for $6,000 and one's for $1,000. No sold. And it's funny where something like that probably in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. I'm sure you go to any store, any comic book store, any convention, someone had them. It's a holiday, nobody cares. And it just made me think of like, oh, what holiday stuff. That's people really only look for it once a year, but when they do, it's gonna be impossible to find some of that stuff. So I was looking at like ornaments. Like every year they do new Star Wars ornaments and they do holiday specific things. You take those and you did, put them in a box for 10 years, whip them back out. I mean, how many are out there in the wild? All the collectors probably already own them. So if you're a new collector trying to buy it, it's gonna be hard. So holiday stuff it might be tough to sell February through November, but once December comes around to January, that's the time to sell it.
Yeah.
Did you ever sell yours?
No, it's just like kicking around.
Right.
It's just kicking around.
No big deal.
Yeah, you know what? there's so much stuff I find each and after my mom moved, we found stuff, we got rid of stuff, we gave stuff away, we put stuff in the store. Everything went everywhere.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track. The guys that really killed it are the guys that just held on to their warehouse of stuff, like some of our friends, to where they just were hoarders for 30 years.
Yep.
And they have cases of stuff that had no value for 25 years, and all of a sudden it's crazy. Spawn toys
have been the original 90s Spawn toys people want them. People are buying for them. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Snowblind by Ollie Masters.
Yeah, so this book is from 2015. Why the sudden price jolt in all these books, Alex? What is Snowblind?
Snowblind is a book that just is going to be turned into a movie. It's got like a history of violence type vibe. It's a high schooler puts his family on social media and someone recognizes the dad and they didn't know that they're in witness protection. So it's these people are coming to find this family who are in witness protection, but nobody knows why. What's the mystery? Why are they in witness protection? It comes to find out dad isn't as nice guy as he really is. But the whole like history of violence type, like, oh, this guy, I've been in witness protection, I'm over here, I haven't done this in a while. It's got that social media vibe, and I think it's a story that I think a lot of people can kind of vibe with.
Got it. So anyway, yeah, this book is picked up a lot. It's from 2015. Ollie Masters with Tyler Jenkins. Snowblind #1, December of 2015. 25 9.8. That's about a $200 book. It's about $30 raw for a regular cover. The Felipe Smith 1 in 10 Boom 10 Years edition. There's 5 9.8s. That's about a $45 raw book.
Wow.
And then there's the Matt Taylor 1 in 10 variant cover. There's only 2 9.8s. Those are minimum $40 to $50 raw also. So those books are pretty expensive for
they're pretty
6-year-old Boom titles.
Yeah. And this is a book that I don't remember this book. I don't remember this coming out. I don't doing research for the show.
I don't either.
Don't remember. I like Ollie Masters. I love Tyler Jenkins, but no clue.
Next book, the same thing, right? Yep. What do we got next?
Port of Earth.
Another book that I hadn't heard about. Pretty good prices for these books, Alex.
Yeah.
What is Port of Earth?
I mean, this is also an easy property that's been picked up. It's a story about aliens coming to Earth, and instead of like a war hostile thing coming over, the aliens are like, oh, hey, we want to use you kind of like a port of call for the universe. And then it's a kind of a story of like, the Earth is the docks of our universe, and ships are coming and going, and people are breaking rules, and kind of gets into that world. But it's super sci-fi. I definitely see this as like a science fiction, like huge blockbuster, or like TV, like The Expanse type deal.
Right. Okay. So Port of Earth #1, November of 2017. There's actually 100 9.8s on that.
That's a good amount.
It's a decent amount, right? Book. That's about $150. It's from 2017. Convention edition, there are 0 9.8s. Those are numbered to 100. Those are $225 raw.
Yeah.
And then the Nick Dragotta cover B variant cover, there's 34 9.8s. That's about a $200 book, and that one's $30 to $40 raw. So this is another book that's really on the up and up. If anything happens, that book is going to go up like a rocket.
Yeah, I'd find those convention editions. They're numbered to 100. They probably went to 2 conventions with them, and that was it.
I know you didn't buy them at Emeralds, and you never bought them at Emerald City. So
put it on a list of everything I haven't bought.
Alex, when you go to Emerald City, you gotta buy stuff. The exclusives. You gotta buy the exclusives.
You're right.
All right, what are we closing up with tonight, Alex?
Our first big 2 character of the night, Cosmic Spider-Man.
Did not think we'd be talking about Cosmic Spider-Man after the bashing that book took 30 years ago.
Right.
It is
nostalgia doesn't matter. Yeah.
What was once bashed is now back in style, Alex.
Yeah, that's it.
What's going on with Cosmic Spider-Man, and why are these books rocketing?
I think you're seeing, the Cosmic, Captain Universe hasn't been used in a while that I remember, but I think it's definitely a property that Marvel likes to use, and I'm sure there'll be some gritty remake here soon. Some, it'll be a Daredevil have it or something. But it's essentially Captain Universe, which is a power that gets transported to a person who when they need it. And Spider-Man got this power when he needed it when he was fighting Triforce. Was not in a lot of books. Very, very small amount in and out. Might be some unlockable skins on some Spider-Man games. But it's just a classic cover, and everybody loved. That Captain Universe books, the Marvel specials and stuff is just, it's fun. It's fun stuff.
Right. All right, Alex, you're gonna be blown away by this.
Yep.
Spectacular Spider-Man #158, December of '89. 94 9.8s, 86 9.6s, $225. and then $5.50 for a newsstand book. Even 9.6s are selling for $100 now.
That's crazy.
Spider-Man gains cosmic powers. It's got a Trapster appearance. I never heard of Trapster. Jerry Conway story, Sal Buscema cover and art. And then the magnificent Miss Marvel #4 Cosmic Spider-Man variant. This one's a good one.
Yeah.
That's August of 2019. There's only 2 9.6s. There's no 9.8s. It's a $6 to $10 raw book. It's pretty cool. It's got the spider suit on the cover.
Yeah, it's neat.
Gerald Perel cover. Yeah. So that's a cool one. So for $6 to $10, I think you're better off taking a shot.
Yeah.
All right. I think that does it for today's show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below. And we will see everybody next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.